Hopefully we are live. Yeah, I think that's right. Oh my goodness. Well, I've been away since the last one to this one, so a little bit chaotic, but I had prepped this before I went, so I'm hoping that I will be able to get it done. Oh, I do need my machine. I'll have to go and get that in a second, but hope everybody's okay. Do let me know where you're watching from and what you're up to. I don't know. We had lovely weather actually while we were away. We had some sunshine, but it was certainly dry most of the time, which was just lovely. We were in Germany, and it was well. I was very happy to show off the country I like to my husband who'd not been before. So that was great fun, and we saw our daughter. That was just lovely. So anyway, today I've got a card which is made with the Christmas Greenery collection. I'm not quite sure if it's called that. Oh, I should have looked this up and checked it, but I've forgotten. But it has some absolutely gorgeous stuff with it, which I'm going to show you. I can get the DSP over here. What's that called on the back? Oh, Traditions of Christmas. I think the suite is called Traditions of Christmas. The stamps that I'm using and the dies are Christmas Greenery. To get confused with all of these names, but anyway, that's what I'm using. So anyway, let me swap over to my craft desk so you can see that. Now, why has that come up? Oh, no idea. Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully that is my desk. It should be my craft desk. Sort of not too bad. Fairly straight. Good. So this is the Christmas Greenery. There are so many lovely products in this suite. It's absolutely beautiful. And I wanted to make the most of this absolutely glorious paper. It's called the Traditions of Christmas paper. And it is absolutely gorgeous. Let me, oh, there we go. Now, I'm presuming we are live, so I can't see anybody there. So if we are live, then, yeah. Oh, hang on, where are we? No, I think we're okay with that. I think that's okay. Right, so hopefully, yeah, hopefully I am live. If you are there, please do tell me, because there's nothing coming up, and I don't know quite if I've pressed the wrong button as usual or what I've done. Who knows? Who knows? But anyway, here I am. And for those of you, you can obviously watch this on my Facebook page or on my YouTube channel. So hopefully you'll have seen this anyway. And you'll see it anyway. And these are the glorious papers. So there's this one, and this shape here matches one of the dies. You can cut out these lovely sort of bows, groups of little flowers and things in different colours. You can see I've actually cut some out. It has a lovely dark blue, midnight blue, I think it's Misty Moonlight, strip on the back. Then there is this one as well, which I've also cut some out. And these are sort of bouquets. And again, the die fits this one. And you've got different coloured bows, but there is a separate bow die. You could actually add a different bow anyway. Then there is this one, which is a lovely background. Oh, the background. Oh, what was the other side of that one? Oh, yes, green. Yeah, we've got green stripes and dots and lines. And then this paper, absolutely lovely, lovely background paper. And you can see it's a specialty paper. There's a lot of gold in this paper. It's absolutely beautiful. And that's got a sort of dotty pattern on the back. I don't know if you can see that there. That's better. You can see that pattern. And then we have, turn those out, I know what we've shown. Oh, a little bit. I wish I keep my bits. What can I say? There's this paper, which again, a lovely background paper. I have already made cards with this paper, and that's got a check pattern on the back. And then we have this beautiful paper, which again, I've made some cards with. I'm not sure I've shown them on YouTube. Might get them to show you in a bit, actually. I've just put on the front, I've used this as a background and then just put a very simple sentiment and a poinsettia made out of white, and it just looks gorgeous. And that's got a green checkered pattern on the back. That's another sheet of that. I think that's all the sheets. Hang on, let me just check I haven't missed any. Oh, yes, I have. And then there's this one. And this, again, it's got a lovely sort of repeated pattern, which is great for backgrounds, with a dotty cherry cobbler, I think that is. There we go. Yeah, pattern on the back. So those are all the different sheets. Pretty sure that's all of them I've shown you. Yes, it is. So, because there's two of everything, obviously, so I don't need to show you those other ones. But that is lovely. This is the Traditions of Christmas Specialty Designer Series paper. And I've used a lot of that today. And the sneak peek of the card, I'm covering it up again. I'm not showing you that yet. But I do want to show you the stamp set, which is the Christmas Greenery stamp set. It has these lovely group. So these are the same as on the papers that I've just shown you, but obviously you can stamp these and colour them in whatever colour you want to match your project. It's got this solid stamp of a poinsettia, and then it's got some solid stamps and leaves and a bow, and then various centres to the flowers if you want to add those in different colours and add different things to it. So there's a lot of bits in this, and it comes with matching dies, but the dies do not just, as you can see, it's a great big sheet, so I've done my usual trick of cutting it up so it fits in with the actual stamp set, because that's how I like to keep them. But this not only has the outlines to cut as I described, it has these enormous holly leaves and berries. It's got a large bow. These cut out the images, but it's also got this big leaf and this sort of frondy one, which I've actually used in today's card. So there's a lot of extra dies as well as the ones that actually fit the stamps. And as I've said, these outline ones also fit the images on the paper, which is just brilliant, as you know. So the card we are making today, and I don't even think, oh, do you know, I haven't actually got my stamp set for my greeting. I'll just go, where have I put that? I thought I had everything ready, and I obviously haven't. And I'm just grabbing a big shot as well, because I do need that. Put that down on the floor here. I have got quite a lot of this prepared, but just in case. So yes, this is the card that I'm going to make, similar to this one. It's not, oh, why has that gone off? Oh dear. Nothing working today. Let me just see if I can sort that. Why is that not working? Oh my goodness. Come back, all is forgiven. It had turned itself off. Why did it turn itself off? That is ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Right, don't worry too much about what's going on in the corner there, because I'm turning it all around to fit it back in its stand so that you can see my desk again. Why did that turn itself off? I have no idea. Honestly, technology. So I do hope you saw a lot of that paper. I don't know what's going on. This is all very strange. Anyway, this is the card. Now you can see me again, or see my desk again. This is the card we're going to make. So I've cut out these fronds in gold foil, cut out one of the images from the paper. I've done a very light, this is the old retired, I don't know if you can see it. It's just given a little bit of texture to the background. It's the Subtles embossing folder, which I love. Then I've done a gold embossed greeting, which I'm going to do, and I've added some of the gems that come with the suite, with the Traditions of Christmas suite. They're called Traditional Sparkling Sequins. You can see I've used a fair number of them so far because they're just gorgeous. We will be using more today. And that basically is it. So, oh yes, I was going to mention that. What I've done for the envelope and for inside the card is I've actually used partial die cuts. Because on the sheets, if you look at the sheets, bring these back again, can you see how there's sort of partial ones on the side? And you can actually cut these out using the die as well. And I thought, I don't want to waste those because they're lovely. Why should I waste those bits of lovely paper? So I actually use them to decorate the inside of the card and the envelope. So there. Right. Where did I just put that? Yes, so I need some stamps from this. This is an old retired set. It's my favourite greeting set, so I'm keeping it. So I've got Season's Greetings, which I wanted, and then the thing for the inside, which am I going to use? Hoping your Christmas shines bright with the love of family and friends. Why not? That's nice. Let's use that. So that's my inside. Okay, so to make the card, it's a really simple card to make. So we need a card base, and this is the usual card base, 29 by 14.8, scored at 10.5. For US cardstock, that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. So I'm just going to fold and burnish that to start off with. So that's that. So as I said, do let me know where you're. Oh, I haven't got the chat up again. I need to get the chat up. So do let me know for that. Now, the other bits you need, I'll just move those to the side. I've got a spare strip just for the greeting. Then I've got a piece of gold foil, and this is 10 centimetres by 14.3 centimetres. And if you're using US sizes, that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And that's going to lay it on the front of the card. And then I've got another piece of basic white cardstock, and this is 9.5 centimetres by 13.8, or 3 3/4 by 5. And those are my layers. Scrap piece for that. And then I've already cut out, die cut, some of the images from the DSP, so I can show you them there. That is the flower cluster one, and these are other bits of the flower cluster and of this one, the actual what do you call that? I don't know, floral arrangement with the bow, whatever. So I've got various bits. I don't know which ones I'll use. We'll see. And as I said, they do come with different coloured bows, different coloured centres for the flowers and all sorts. So you will want to just decide what you might want for those. So let us get on with making the card. Very simply, we're going to stick the layer on first, the gold foil layer. I'm trying to keep an eye and making sure that the picture doesn't vanish again, because I've no idea why it did the first time. Sometimes, quite a lot of the time, if we're honest, I do not understand technology. It's beyond me. But when it works, it's great. But yeah, I've just seen on the news that actually they're suggesting firms do have a backup paper and pen because of all of these dreadful hacks that have been going on. And I think, yeah, I've always done that. and I don't think I'll ever stop. Anyway, let me bring my machine in. Ooh, I need my other plate as well. Oh dear, because I'm just going to emboss this piece of cardstock. I haven't got the embossing folder either. And I'm struggling to find that embossing folder, which is really annoying. There it is. I have now found it. I need my embossing plate as well. Right, I have now found it. It's the old subtle embossing folder. It is now retired, but I still love it. It's got a very, very, I don't know if you can, how much you can see that pattern in it. It is a very subtle pattern, and I just love it. So we're going to use that just to cover this card. Now, it's an old style embossing folder, so I seem to remember that that was too much. I seem to remember that the better plate is this one, which wouldn't be our usual sandwich for this, but do play when you are embossing folders. Do play around with the plates and make sure you only use the ones that will easily go through the machine and will still produce the effect. So that, I think, should still have embossed my piece of cardstock, and it has. So normally you would use the this grey plate with the base plate, but I found that was too thick. It was stressing my machine. And if you can see, I don't know if we can see the texture on that, but it has embossed that piece beautifully, because it's a very, as I said, it's a very subtle folder. Let me just move all of this lot out of the way again. Sort those out in a bit. So now I've got my lovely subtle piece. I can add that on to here. Hello, hi Jenny, nice to see you from South Africa. Hopefully your weather's a bit better than ours. Just deciding which side of this I want on the front. I think that one. Ours it's dry, sort of. It's a bit mizzly, we would call it. So there's sort of misty wetness in the air, but it's not actually raining. But it's very dull. Could do with some sunshine. Luckily, we had some in Germany, so that was great. So, and soon, in a few weeks' time, we're off to Australia and New Zealand. So we should get some sun there, which would be lovely. Right, so let us do the embossing of the greeting. So I need my embossing buddy. So when embossing, I would always treat it with an embossing buddy. If you don't have an actual embossing buddy, then a tumble dry sheet actually works quite well as something different. Try not to nudge that too much, but my Versamark was stuck under my computer there. Oh dear me. So I am going to stamp this in Versamark on my embossed buddied piece, a little way over, because I want it to actually, I'm going to trim it to fit the whole thing in a bit. And I am going to use my gold embossing powder to match my gold foil and my gold fronds that I've already cut. So there we go. And my heat tool, and we'll just emboss this. And never, ever, ever am I going to lose the joy of embossing and watching this powder melt and turn gold. It's just gorgeous. I don't even can see it going as I'm doing it on the screen. Working its way along, Susie's greetings. There we go. But it's just, I think it's magic every single time, which is great. So I want to trim that so that it sits in the middle. So that's why I've left it quite a long piece, which is fine. I am also going to do the inside. I'm not going to emboss that. You could do if you wanted. I am going to get a different, I'm good, actually, I think I will do it in black. I think I'll do it in Memento inside. You could do it in a colour to match your flowers if you wanted, or whatever. We're just going to use this one, which is hoping your Christmas shines bright with the love of family and friends. Why not? So, actually shining bright, it would be good to have embossed it. Perhaps I should have embossed the inside as well. Well, never mind, we're not now. Right, so to make up the card then, I'm going to lay it out first, and it's not a bad idea to practice this because you might want something different. With this one, I had the two fronds going sideways and that sort of bouquet in the middle. If I use this slightly different image, then I might have it going a slightly different way. Let me think. So I might have it, I still want my season's greetings across the bottom. So might have it very similar actually, but that looks, it's more of a transverse pattern that. I wonder if we had that with these behind, what would that look like? If I had those somewhere like that and put that on, what do you think, folks? And put that on like that. How would that look? I think that would look quite nice actually. So I think we might go with that. Yeah, so let me stick some of these down. So I'm going to stick these, I've got a little bit stuck, which haven't come out of there. There we go. So with these fronds, you don't need too much glue. You just need it on the bits that aren't sticking out. But it's very detailed, the die, and it's got lots of detail in it. So you just want a little bit of glue just to hold it on. And remember, when you're sticking a, this is a very, what can I say, detailed die. Can you see all the details in it? This is cut off, by the way, because I just squeezed another bit out, but that's fine because it's going to be mainly under my picture. So I was still going to use this bit. It's got sort of slots cut into it. It's a lovely ferny, frondy thing. Could use it for Easter as well. Anyway, I'm going to have those two like that. Yeah, just stick those down. Make sure they're holding before I let go, because I'm sticking it onto a embossed piece of cardstock. And then my big image, I am actually going to put up on dimensionals. So stick a few of these on here. That should do. There we go. We'll have it that way up. Just coming across the fronds like that. leaving enough room for my sentiment to show at the bottom. There we go. And then I am going to, I might put this on, I think I might just raise that up as well, actually. So what I'll do is I'm going to hold it on and trim it first. It's much more difficult to trim when you've actually put it on dimensional. So I'm going to place it where I want it. So my actual embossed bit is in the middle. And then if I haven't lost my scissors, there we go. Then I can just trim it either side because I want it going all the way across. So we'll trim it off that side and this side. Take from the back because it's easier nearer the bottom. There we go. So you want to hold it on very firmly while you're doing that because you don't want your scissors to slip. And then we'll have that on with dimensionals as well. There we go. I want that just to cover the bottom of the frond bits. I don't want them sticking out. And I just want the end of this to hang over there as well, just because it looks nicer in my view. So that is the basis of my card. And then I just want to add some gems and that'll finish the front. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the envelope on the inside. So I think we'll have, now we've got red flowers and the blue flowers. So I could almost use any of these gems. And I think I might go with the paler colours because I don't want to overwhelm the pale poinsettia in the middle. So I think we'll go with the blue colours. So we'll have a few of these dotted around here. And we'll have one either side of my season's greetings. Like that. And we'll have just a few more around. We'll have, might go for the smaller ones actually. Have a couple over here. I could mix them up. I could have different coloured ones of these gems. Gold is too much. I think there's already a lot of gold in this card, so I wouldn't use gold. But play around and see what you like. So that is my card front. I hope you like that. Again, different from this one, but using exactly the same principle. This one, there's a slightly smaller image, and I've used the fronds in a slightly different way. But just play around and see what you actually like. This one, I cut this smaller so that it was inside my white pieces. Didn't really leave room for my gems so much there, and I've just used the 2 gems on that one. And this one, I probably like slightly better with the wider greeting and a few more gems. But it's up to you. Play around and see what you like. And then, as I said, you can also cut out these bits. So we have these little tiny bits of the paper that still fit in the dies off the edges of the paper, but they just make lovely little extra decorations. So I'm going to use some of these in here, I think, and then I'll use another one on, might just use that bit actually inside the card, and then I'll use one of the other bits on the envelope. I'm just going to use that along the bottom because I think it fits all right with the flower pointing that way, just as a little bit of extra decoration inside. Obviously, you can stamp, you can do what you like, but I wanted to make this a really quick and easy card because I need to get all my Christmas cards done by the end, well, by 4 weeks' time. So I've got time to send them before we go away. So I'm really rushing to get them done this year. Just get an envelope because I've forgotten to get that as well. I'm really not as organised as I thought I was. And I'm just going to use another one of these partial cuts on the envelope as well, just in the corner of the envelope. I do like to decorate an envelope. And this is just another little different way to do it. And it uses all of the bits of the DSP when you use the bits that are from the edge as well. Plus, when you cut them from the edge, it gives you a lovely straight edge to put against the edge of whatever you're sticking it to, like the envelope or the corner of the, or the inside of the card. So this is my second version of the card. Here's the first one. I hope you like them. I hope you think about getting this gorgeous paper. Even if you don't get the stamp set, I would definitely get this paper. It is just beautiful. And the gems, these sparkling gems, they're so good in the 4 different colours and 3 different sizes. So I hope you enjoyed those. Thank you for joining me today. I will be back next week at 2 o'clock on Tuesday, and I hope to see you again then. Bye for now.